Hi guys, Frank here from Build Your Own. You know what? I like cars just in general. Today, I'm actually going to detail this car. I'm not sure what year it is. I had to ask the gentleman. He stepped away, but I do know it's a W210 Mercedes E320. It's a Sport. It's actually the rare Sport. Check it out. It's the Sport. The Sport has that, I think really the only difference between the Sport is that it gets a special suspension on it. He says it's been sitting like this for a year, but it runs really, really good. He's got an older Audi A8 that's super sweet too. L, long wheelbase. This thing is super dirty and the paint is super dry, but when I get done with it, woo, son, it's gonna look beautiful. I love these cars. Matter of fact, I was telling the gentleman when I got here, I was talking to him for a few minutes. Let's look at this roof, look at this thing. I was talking to him for a few minutes. I said, hey, you know what? I had two E55 Mercedes W210 chassis. I had 99, I had a black one, had a silver one. Actually, I don't know if you know this, guys, but I actually have a website. Yep, I like to write too. I'm really good at it as well. I did an article all about the W210 Mercedes E55. So if you're actually interested in that article, I'll go ahead and put a link up to that in the corner right now. Yeah, it's dirty in here. I actually don't mind the color, but it is very, very dirty in this car. We're gonna make it look gorgeous though. It's gonna look really good in here when we get done. Maybe this gentleman will let me do a walk around review on this car when it gets all done and cleaned up, because it surely needs it. But yeah, we're gonna make it look good. The wheels are dry, but they're in pretty good shape. You know, it's got some curb rash on it, but this car is gonna clean up awesome. It's gonna clean up super, super, super awesome. It's actually gonna clean up better than my old truck. Actually, this truck is actually looking really, really good. If you've seen some of my other videos on this truck, I'll go ahead and put a link up to my walk around review. When I first bought this truck a couple of weeks ago, the paint on this truck was really dry. I got up this morning and I thought, let me just wipe one corner. And so wiping a corner, just a quick hand wax, it needs a machine, but a quick hand wax, boy, it looks a lot better, a lot better. And like I said, if you look at some of the other videos I showed on this truck, you'll know immediately that it looks a lot better. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get ready to wash this thing. I got some boxes out of the way. It looks good on this side. It's actually a little cleaner on this side because, well, it's under this canopy. But you know what? Let me show you how to wash this thing like a boss. Let me show you how to do this. Now, I'm not gonna try to catch every angle of me washing this thing, but step one is to give it a real good wash down. Gotta connect the power washer up and yeah, let's get started. Okay, the first thing we wanna do really is, I got the power washer fired up, and the really thing I wanna do now, first thing I wanna do is just really just blow this thing off and just knock off all this loose stuff before I put any product on it or anything. All right, so far I just kind of hit the top a little bit. I think we can kind of do this together. Let me see if we can. Let's see here. Yeah. Obviously you want to kind of work your way down. Obviously I'm not going to try to work this camera and this spray nozzle for too long, but you kind of get the general purpose here. You want to knock off all the heavy stuff. You want to get all the heavy stuff off the car. Anything that when you put your wash mitt on there, it might scratch the paint, stuff like that. Especially when a car's been sitting this long, why not just knock all this stuff off first, especially if you have a power washer or a nice high pressure hose. Okay, so I've power washed the whole thing, got all the pine needles off of it, knocked off all the loose dirt, everything like that. Next thing I'd like to do, because I like to do things in my order anyway, is I want to get the wheels clean now. Now I want to hit the wheels up. They need it. Like I said, I've knocked off anything that's loose. That's already good. Yeah, so let's do the wheels now. Got some wheel spray, let's put that on. Okay, with the wheel spray, I just like to spray the wheel spray liberally. Here's the thing to keep in mind. This stuff can burn onto the wheels. If the wheels are really hot, like because you've been driving around, let your wheels cool off. That's another good reason why to hit them with the hose first, to let your wheels cool off really good. Also hit the tires, hit the rubber. See how the rubber's pulling up the dirt? See all that stuff, all the dirt's pulling off the tires? That's gonna make a difference. So you get the wheel nice and good, then you need a wheel brush. Let me go get the wheel brush. This car is great for a wheel brush because it's got nice big openings, but the wheel brush is where you're gonna scrub inside all these openings and around the edges and all of that, and we see how clean it gets. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I've scrubbed that wheel up really good. I scrubbed the wheel and also the tire, as you can see. So now I just need to hose it off. Let's see how clean it comes. Okay, not too bad. There's a lot of dirt that's just kind of set into this wheel. You know, in my experience, and I've had a lot of cars, it's like if you don't clean these wheels on a regular basis, it's like the brake dust eventually burns itself onto the enamel of the wheel. It kind of stains it after a while. So I'm going to try to clean it a little bit more, and after that it probably is what it is. Okay, so I've scrubbed the wheel one more time. We'll see if it comes a little bit cleaner. If not, well, guess what? I guess we better put some model blocks on this. Some 18-inch model blocks would actually look really good on this car anyway. You know, I think after so many years, these wheels are just stained. I mean, they came pretty clean, but you can see, especially right there, they're pretty stained up pretty good. But like I said, you know, they came clean, but that's what happens when you don't clean them regularly. It's lost its enamel anyway, and then that brake dust can burn onto the wheel when the wheel gets really hot and you don't clean it for a long time. So yeah, like I said, this car is a good candidate for a set of 18-inch model blocks anyway, or maybe even a set of 17-inch model blocks. But the 18-inch model blocks staggered setup would be perfect. Okay, so now I cleaned the other 3 wheels. I just need to power wash them, right? Got these other wheels, that one's done, that one in the back is done. Make sure you do the wheel, the rim, and also the tire, because there's a lot of dirt on the rubber as well. So make sure you get that off, right? And then you can get your, if you've got a Mercedes E320 W210 chassis, you get yours looking sweet like I'm about to do this one. Now, of course, we can make this, keep doing a detail job more and more and more. This is going to be a nice quick one. Good wash, good hand wax, take off the wax with the orbital, hit up that interior, and yeah, we're out the door. The car's going to look pretty good for not a whole bunch of work. Okay, the wheels are done. Now we need to actually wash the car. The wheels are done. I've got soap in the bucket here, and we're ready to go. The only thing I've really done to get in preparation for that is to click up the single arm windshield wiper, which apparently has a cult following. The single arm windshield wiper on the Mercedes-Benz is actually really cool. Okay, so, but we don't have time to talk about all that right now. Let's just wash the car. This is where details actually matter. You got to take your time and wash the corners, all the crevices, all the cracks, all the creases, all that stuff down there. Give it a good solid hand wash. Your hand wash should take a while. It shouldn't be something that you just breeze over. And let me show you what kind of mitt I'm using. I just have a nice microfiber towel. This one happens to be brand new. If you got rocks and pebbles and stuff in your microfiber towel, it'll scratch the car. And if you can't get it out, buy a new one. Okay, so a top tip really is when a car, even if a car is not this dirty, you should wash a car in sections. So all I've really done is this back trunk and the back bumper, and I've wiped it really good with wash it down really good, and then I'll power wash it and clean it. And that way you just do a section at a time and get it really clean. You don't let the paint, or you don't let the soap dry on the paint, especially if it's hot and sunny outside. You got to really watch that. I told you that guy had a really awesome Audi A8L. There it is. It's super sweet. Beautiful wheels. No joke, this car is already looking better. So what I've done so far is I just did the trunk and the back window and the bumper and then this 3/4 section, and it is very nice. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of sunlight, so you can't see that. But what I want to really tell you was, you want to make sure that when you wash, you want to wash down in here, up under that lip, because it gets a lot of dirt, right? Obviously, this is all, you know, crud that's not coming off by hand, and maybe not even with a wax, but you want to clean that surface dirt off, of course, too, all under there, right? Okay, so I can keep this thing moving, and I want to take forever. I'm just going to go ahead and wash this thing down right now, so the next time you see it, I'll actually be done washing it down. Like I said, you got to be very particular about all these details. These cars have a lot of grooves. You want to make sure that you get all in these grooves down here. Wash the car really hard. Scrub it really good with a nice mitt that's not abrasive, microfiber washcloth, and that'll get the job done right. Okay, so I know I said earlier, hey, wash the car in sections so the soap doesn't dry, blah blah. But you know what? It's so cool out today. There's no sun, and I want to just show you, hey, okay, now I've washed the whole car down. Yeah, I did the other side too, because I basically already did the other side. Too. So now I'm just gonna hose the thing down, and then we can walk around and see how clean it looks after we get done. All right, we got this thing washed down, and it actually looks really good. I don't know if you can look down the side of this thing, but it's got a shine on it. It's got a shine on it. You know what it looks like, or what it looked like before we got started. It was a hot mess. It was very dirty. I did a lot of power washing into the grooves around the trim because there was a lot of dirt that just kept coming out of the grooves because it's been sitting for a while. But it's turned out really, really nice, and the body's super straight. Let's see if we can pull this thing out and get a better look at it, and so we can dry it off and wipe it and get into the interior a little bit better. Okay, we got this thing pulled back so I can see it a little bit better, and we can get around it and wax it. And yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good considering what it was when we got started. So yeah, I was talking to the gentleman. Remember we were saying, hey, these wheels would be a good candidate for 18-inch or 17-inch model blocks. He goes, hey, I got a set of 19-inch model blocks in storage. How cool is that? Those are super rare for those of you who don't know. Okay, so while this thing's drying, woo, buddy, there's a lot of work to be done on this interior. You know what? These door jambs are so bad. I'm gonna go ahead and power wash these door jambs to get these clean because they're rough. It's rough in here. You know, we can't expect miracles. It's very, very dirty in here. These seats have a lot of ingrained dirt into the leather. You can see it, but it might clean up okay. It might clean up okay back here. I don't know. We'll find out. The rugs are dirty, of course, but we'll see. We will see. First thing we need to do is take everything out of it. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and power wash those door jambs. Like I said, this is the easy way to do a car like a boss. Clean it up real good. So I already power washed the other side, but we can see how bad the door jambs are back here. You know what? And the reality is a lot of people's cars look this tore up. I'm not even gonna lie. They really do. So yeah, you can see all down in here. It's bad. See, these are where people don't even pay attention. Down here, it's super bad. So yeah, and then we'll go take a look on the other side, and then you'll see that I've already power washed the other side, and it looks a lot better. Now, this gentleman's only paying X amount, so we're only doing so much, but yeah, can't let the door jambs go. You can see it's a lot cleaner on this side. Again, it's not perfect. This car is not perfect, so you can't take not perfect and make it perfect, especially when you don't have all the tools, right? And that's not what the customer is looking for anyway. So he just wants it cleaned up really good, and yeah, we're gonna do that. All right, so let's power wash the other door jambs and then get all this stuff out of the interior. All right, guys, so power wash these door jambs, right? We can see those are clean. I've got these seats moved up. I got a lot of junk that's out of here. There was a bunch of junk in here. There still is. Not quite done, but I'm gonna start on the back, which is why I moved all these seats up real fast. But look at all the stuff. You know how there's like these little pockets on the door? Look at all that stuff that was in that door. Dog biscuits, dog food, watches, all kinds of stuff. Buried treasure up in there. Buried treasure. So I'm gonna get that all cleaned out and then vacuum it and then see where we're at. So when I was power washing it, that little piece fell off on the door sill trim piece. But yeah, that's just some glue or a sticker. So yeah, he'll have to find that and put that back on. Yeah. Okay guys, so everything's done. I've got all the debris cleaned out of the back here. Back in the seat cushions, all that. Now I'm just going to vacuum it really, really good and see what it looks like when we get done with that. All right guys, so I got the back seat all vacuumed up and everything like that. It's all clean back here. Then I grab my trusty old scrub brush, rag, and tough stuff, and I just start spraying it. I guess I should probably show you how that works, so that way when you're working on yours, you know what I'm talking about. I kind of already did this seat right here on this side, and I kind of cleaned right there. You can see how clean that is. That actually looks very clean. This stuff works great. So how about we do this? How about we scrub this door panel? We'll do that, and we'll do the back of the seat on this side. So let's do that. Okay, so I put the spray foam on the door panel, and it's on the back of the seat. So let's grab this brush here, and yeah, you just gotta, yeah, it's kind of like that. Like I said, it's hard to do it with this camera in hand, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing it this way. I'm just trying to show you how it's done. Okay, so in the beginning of the video, I said, hey, this is a W210 chassis Mercedes E320. I said, I don't know what year it is. This car is a 2001 E320 Sport. Well, I knew it was at least a 2000 and between a 2000 and 2002, because number one, they stopped making this body style in 2002. 2002 was the last year of the W210 chassis. And over here on these side markers, you see how there's like these side markers right here? Well, they only did that from 2000, 2001, and 2002. So I knew this car was at least a 2000, 2001, or 2002. How do I know that? Because I had a 99 E55. I had two of them. And I was all kinds of not happy because in 99 they didn't have the side markers. So yeah. Okay, so anyway, I have scrubbed and wiped these door panels. They actually look pretty good. I'm going to go over it a little bit more, but it actually looks pretty good in here. Like I said, the rugs, I vacuumed them real good, but we're not doing a shampoo on these, but they'll probably clean up pretty good if the owner wants to spend a couple of bones. But yeah, the plastic, the seats, all that, it's coming pretty clean if we just don't look at the rugs so much. Okay, so the back is all cleaned. It's vacuumed. Everything's wiped down in the back. The seats are wiped down. The door panels are wiped down. The back of the seats are wiped down. The B-pillars are wiped down. If you don't know what a B-pillar is, this is a B-pillar. There's plastic down here at the bottom. That's been wiped down. And so, yeah, like I said, this car it's not new. This car is almost 20 years old. It's 18 years old. And so, yeah, it looks its age, but it's cleaned up pretty well, and it's not too bad. Like I said, if the rugs weren't so dingy, then it would actually look pretty good. The leather is dried out, but, you know, we've got the dirt off the leather. Now we need to do the fronts. The front I still need to vacuum, you know, and do all of that and make that look pretty. And so I'm just going to go ahead and wipe this down and get this all cleaned up. I'll show you what it looks like when we get done. And then we'll be ready to wax the exterior, and then I'm going to get out of here. Okay, so let's take a look at the driver's side here real fast. Yep, it needs to be done. So yeah, I just need to do this whole side here. Look at the door pocket in here. Super dirty in there. Super, super dirty. So yeah, I still like this car. It's going to clean up. The interior is not going to be perfect because we're not doing a shampoo on the interior. But by the time I get done wiping it down, it's going to be presentable and it'll be clean. All right, well, I have wiped the interior down in the front as well. It's about as good as it's gonna get. There was a lot of dirt in all these crevices. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to use this stuff right here to finish wiping this dash and glass stuff. I'm gonna give the interior one more quick once over, and then I'm gonna wipe the door jambs. These are the door jambs down in here. If you don't know what a door jamb is, these are the door jambs. I'm going to wipe and don't forget the back of the doors. That's also part of the door jamb. I'm going to wipe the door jambs, give the interior one more quick wipe over just to shine it up after cleaning it with the product, because sometimes that just dulls it a little bit. So I'm going to wipe it up. And then let's look in the back here too, real fast. And so, yeah, everything's been wiped down. It actually looks a lot better in here when you consider what the vehicle was when we got started. Okay guys, so here's where we're at. The interior's wiped down, the exterior's all washed and everything. The car's dry, of course. I have wiped the door jambs. I did the once over with that door and that dash and glass stuff. That stuff made it smell good in here, and it made it look a little bit better, cleaned up a little bit of stuff that I might have missed with the first time around. I did the door jambs, and so all I really want to do now is just go over it with a vacuum one more time, get anything I might have missed or any more debris I might have kicked up from cleaning and knocked on the carpet. I'm just being meticulous, even though the rugs aren't getting shampooed. I'm just being meticulous because, well, that's me. That's how you make a car look right. You know, you don't have to go super crazy with it, but you give it that little extra care and attention, and it shows. So after we do that, then, like I said, I'm going to vacuum, and then we're going to go over here because I need to go to the bathroom, and maybe I might get some Armor All. I'm not really into Armor All, but these tires are so dry. We could use a little Armor All on these tires. Maybe they might have some over there. So I'm going to vacuum the interior one more time. Then I'm going to run over to that gas station over there. And then we'll be ready to, I did the interior glass. Did I say that already? I did the interior glass. You want to make sure you wipe your interior glass as well. Already did that. And then, yeah, we're ready to do the exterior, right? After I do the vacuum here, we're ready to do the exterior, and then we're out of here. All right, I went over there. They didn't have any Armor All, but they had peanuts. I got peanuts, got a beverage, went to the bathroom. Now I'm ready to wax it. The interior's done. There's nothing left to do inside the interior, so it's done. There's no Armor All, so that is what it is. We're gonna put some wax on this thing. I don't get into super complicated, expensive waxes. You know what? I've gone the full gamut with that. I like Turtle Wax products. That's just me. I've done the Griots. I've done the Pinnacle. I've done all the high-end waxes and this and that. And at the end of the day, it's 6 of one, half dozen of another as far as I'm concerned. The turtle wax is pretty good. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna start putting some wax on, and then we're gonna use an orbital to take the wax off. And then we're out of here. It's important when you're doing a wax to talk about how much wax you're using, because if you're using too much wax, boy, you're gonna create a lot more work for yourself than you need. So this probably has a little more wax on it than I really need. But I'll just fold it over, mash it up a little bit, and kind of get it started a little bit. You know, a lot of people talk about going in circles or up and down. Which way do you go? I actually just like to go, like this. I just like to go like that, right? With a good degree of pressure, and taking my, being mindful around edges and corners, because you can pack in a lot of wax, like down the lines and all that. So you want to be mindful of that. So when you have a lot of wax on your mitt, make sure you're like off in the middle of the paint somewhere, so you're not getting it all in the crevices, because it's a pain in the butt to get it out. And then if you don't get it out, it looks bad. So might as well not get it in there to begin with. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and wax the car, and I'll talk to you after we put the wax on and before we use the orbital to take it off. Okay, so I've got the wax on the car. Of course, the car is white, so you can't really see that. While I was waxing the car, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking, you know what? This car is really cool. This owner's really cool. This car is almost 20 years old. And, you know, the paint is, you know, the paint needs a lot of correction help. It's going to shine some, yeah. But what's cool is that it's a Survivor. It's a nice car. And, yeah, the rugs need some help. But you could throw down some new mats and make the rugs pass. But I'm glad to see that this guy's taking care of the car, is what I'm saying. It's an old Mercedes. These things are dear to me because, like I said, I had a couple of E55s, and it's just cool that this guy cares enough to take care of this car. But you know what? The wax is on. I need to plug in the orbital. There's the cord over there. Need to go grab the orbital out of the back of the truck. We need to take the wax off. But before we do that, I need to actually do the exterior glass. So that's the last step I do before I take the wax off. And then after that, yeah, we better hurry up, because it's really gray outside, and it is starting to sprinkle just a little bit. All right, guys, we are ready to take the wax off. I like to use an orbital. You can see it sitting over here on the car. I like to use an orbital because it takes the wax off easier. It adds a little bit of a buff on it and a shine, and you don't see any swirl marks and things like that. You know, I love this car. I just love this car. You know, this is the E320 Sport. And I was just over in the truck grabbing the orbital, looking at this thing, thinking, oh, that's why it sits lower. It's a Sport. This thing probably sits 10 to probably 20 millimeters lower than a normal E320 of the same vintage. This thing's really cool. With a set of monoblocks on this, yeah. And this thing's there. You know, it's not perfect. Like I said, the thing's almost 20 years old. There's a lot of hard water spots on the windows. I don't know if you can see that or not. I wiped them so good, I probably got a lot of them out. But, you know, I could spend a week messing with this car, making it perfect. But it's going to look really good. We're going to take the wax off here with this orbital. And then we'll probably wipe it down real fast with a microfiber cloth. And then we'll get up out of here. So I pulled the plug out of the orbital, so I had to stop for a second. But man, and I stopped to start admiring this car. Look at the shine down this thing. I know you see it. I know you see it. This thing is starting to look like the pepper. This thing is the hot sauce, buddy. It just needs some monoblocks on it. It looks fantastic. I told you at the beginning of this video, I was going to make it look good, show you how it's done. Yeah, you could use machines and other paint corrections. And yep, you could do a lot more. But you know what? For not a whole bunch of work, this thing is starting to look real right. I got to do the other side. I don't know if you can see that there's wax along this side. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that or not. Maybe you can see it on the hood. I'm sorry, on the roof. Maybe you can see that. I've done the other half, the far side, but not this side that I'm on. Maybe you can see that. Maybe you can't. At any rate, let me finish this, and then we can admire my work, and then I can go home. Okay, guess what? This 2001 Mercedes E320 Sport in white with the Palomino leather interior is done. The owner just came back in his A8L, and he's like, hey, do you have time to do this one? I said yes. So if you want to watch me do this one and run my mouth about that one, well, I'll put a link up to that one in the corner. I guess right now, I suppose, because I'm going to have to edit both of these at the same time, and I'll probably put them up simultaneously. At any rate, this car is done, and it looks good. I don't know if you could see the shine. The owner, when he pulled up, he said you could see it a mile away. He's happy. It's got a gleam on it. I'm trying to go slow. There's not a lot of sunlight today, so I don't know if you could see the shine or not, but this thing looks great. All it needs is a set of monoblocks, and probably for me to drive it. Other than that, it's good to go. I do love this car. Like I said, take a look at my Mercedes E55 article that I wrote, talking all about the configurations and everything you'd want to know about the W210 E55 Mercedes. Be sure to check out that article. Also, if you're interested, you can watch me wash this, or listen to me, really, because you can't see me because I'm behind the camera. You can listen to me wash this Audi A8L. It's in a lot better shape outside. It just needs a little more love on the inside, but it's got beautiful wheels on it, and it's going to shine up great. He wants to wax that as well. It's going to look gorgeous. So let's move this thing out of the way and get to doing this one. Oh, one last thing. The car is almost done, but not quite. I like to use a microfiber towel, like I said, at the end, to wipe down the car one time. You could have missed a little corner with the machine, something like that. Wipe it down one last time, finish it off. This thing looks gorgeous. It looks super good. It's a honey. This car is a honey. It just needs those monoblocks, like I said. So yeah, I'm just gonna wipe it down with the cloth, and that'll be that. I keep saying it's gonna be it, it's gonna be it, it's gonna be it. I'm done, I'm done, I'm done. Now I am done for real. I did it. I wiped it down with a microfiber towel after I did the orbital. I don't know if you could see the shine, but it is shiny. Look at that reflection. Look at the trees. You can see it. You can see it. Like I said, the paint's not perfect, but it looks great. This car, compared to what it looked like, you remember, rewind the video if you don't remember. You know what it looked like before. It looks great. All things considered, it looks fantastic. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video of me cleaning this W210 E320 Sport, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I like doing it all. I build and price new cars direct from the manufacturer website. I like to go to car shows, you name it. I like to do walk around reviews. I've done some of those. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. All right, now it's time to do the Audi. Now we get to see it moving a little bit. I know I said I was done, but let's just call this the after video. All right, there it is. Okay, let's do the A8.